Alright, Shalom, I'm giving all praise unto Bashman Shabashim Kohakorash. The bonus unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and honestly brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above everybody, I coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Shabashim Kohakorash. Giving all praise unto Bashman Shabashim Kohakorash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this article first, and then I'll get into this video. But this is pretty much them setting up the new world that they're striving for. I remember we're in 2026, so 2030 is only supposedly 4 years from now, and I never thought it would get this far, and it might not even get beyond the end of this year. So bear that in mind. But we know they was pushing towards this agenda, and funnily enough, all of these crises are happening, and they are furthering towards that particular point. So you got to just bear that in mind, that 2 jeans, 2 t-shirts lifestyle that they was going to set up, and your energy and your carbon being monitored. So let's get into this. It says we're not awaiting a collapse, we're in it in its early stages. Stage 1 is the visible shortages we see today, and the most of the public remains oblivious, blaming geopolitical conflict or the market forces. The mainstream media is obediently provides cover stories. Stage 2, widespread and mainstream concern over acute shortages, hyperinflation, the realization that the system is broken. I'm going to come back to some of these points as I remember it. It's going to be like an in-transit styles video after I read this excerpt. Based on the trajectory of fuel and food prices, this stage is likely only weeks from North America. Stage 3 is mass panic and the acceptance of a new permanent reality. Okay? This is when people realize that the abundance of the 20th century is gone, replaced by the managed decline of living standards, mobility, personal freedom, as detailed in the coming of the American descent into chaos. Okay, the fragile system underpinnings of our civilizations are falling in a coordinated manner. Right, and that's really where I'm gonna leave it there. Or the engineering energy scarcity is the trigger for the final descent. Right, it's all engineered. It's all by design. We've been telling you these particular things for the longest amount of time, man. They have orchestrated the fall of this place. It's all by design. Okay, don't be fooled. This is all by design. This is all Esau and he's doing, and he's bidding towards them trying to achieve their enterprise upon the face of the earth. So there's a few things that's been mentioned there. Try to remember them as I go on this ride home. But yeah, man, social decline, right? The acceptance of a new normal. Now, what was one of the things that they were speaking about within the 2019 thing? They were speaking about the new normal. You getting used to the idea of scarcity. What is the things that we see, okay, being pushed by the elites concerning the new world order? We see the elites have been heavy on this thing of carbon management. This thing of universal basic income, and this thing of not using the so-called fossil fuels. And I say so-called because they're not really fossil fuels. That's a term that Esau created. That's a term that Esau created. You're telling me all of this industrial machinery. If you understand industrial machinery and the amount of fuel that's used on an industrial scale, you got to understand, man. We're talking a lot of weight, man. We're talking about a lot of mass that's being mined. Okay, where are all of these cavities in the earth where this oil has come out of and it's not being replaced? Okay, that's the idea that oil is just it's just this finite resources. It's farcical, man. It's farcical, man. Heavy industry has been going on for the longest amount of time, man. This is just farcical. Well, you find out when you study some of these alternative not news outlets, these alternative articles, you come to find out that yes, it is absolutely scientifically possible and proven that you could create hydrocarbons with enough pressure. I went into this a long time ago. I went into the video. I might be able to go into it another time because it's a good article to go into and remind ourselves that the Most High created a system that works, man. Right? The Most High created a system that works, and hydrocarbons is useful. Okay, you gotta use it in their proper and appropriate way, but they're useful. We read within the scriptures the forefathers used the slime to make up things, man. So it's not like these things are just new that Esau just come up with and he's just created this new system. No, they've been using these things for the longest amount of time. We read it within the scriptures. But the point I was trying to make was this: Yeah, there's a system by which these hydrocarbons are created within the earth. It's very simple. Okay, pressure, all the natural elements are already there and present within the earth's mantle. So it's like, what are these guys being fed? But you've been fed this finite world so that Esau can control what is finite. See, when things are infinite, how can you control it? How can you control, energy? Which that's the next point I'm going to speak about, right? How can you control energy if it's infinite? And that's why guys like Tesla and all of that, they was kicked out and shunned by the scientists of his days, the Edomite scientists of his days, in favor of Edison, who gave you a light bulb that don't last forever, when it's very possible to create a light bulb that lasts forever. There's actually a cartel out there. If you go into the information for yourself, read about the light bulb cartel. That's how wicked this man is. The light bulb cartel basically artificially keep you in a state of artificially, light bulb scarcity. I don't know how to phrase it to where it's gonna be nice, man. Sometimes you gotta just use the simple wording. They give you they said basically, look, man, if we give you these light bulbs that last forever, how are we gonna make money? That was the light bulb cartel, and that's how the world is run. They make you believe in a finite earth. They make you believe in an earth that's just, you gotta just carry on. You just gotta manage it in such a way where there's gonna be some stuff left over. It's like, no, that's not what the Most High created, man. The earth is ever replenishing itself. Okay, the earth is ever replenishing itself, man. Come out of this mindset of Edomite culture of, oh, we gotta save electricity, we gotta save this. No, the Most High made an infinite earth. We just gotta tap into it, and we're gonna get that within the kingdom. But speaking about this descent into chaos that they've created with the energy thing, you're gonna see what's gonna happen this winter, man. You're gonna see what's gonna happen with this winter. Remember, the market only has to be shaken just a little bit. It only has to be shaken just a little bit before the situation becomes dire. And we saw that 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I forget how long ago it was, with the war with, was it Syria? No, it wasn't Syria. The Ukraine. Okay, the war was the Ukraine basically set up a situation where they had all kind of mass recession and all kind of madness. Okay, you had a whole bunch of madness. Okay, off of the back of the Ukraine thing. Let me go back up. I made a mistake here. Go backwards on myself. Okay, had all kind of a long-lasting impact on the economy. A whole kind of long-lasting impact on the economy. And they had a situation out there where pretty much they had to raise up the gas prices, and that then off of the back of the gas prices going up, everybody bumped their prices up all over the place. And then you ended up in a situation out here within the UK where your mortgages was hella expensive. People were losing their homes. People were losing all kind of things. Okay? So this energy shortage that's being created out here, you keep your eye on it. It's gonna have a long-lasting impact on the people out here within the earth, man. It's gonna have a very long-lasting impact. So yeah, keep an eye on that. But going back onto the next thing, yeah, they mentioned food as well. Food prices, food inflation. That's another metric that they use to determine whether they're going to increase the mortgage rates and all of that, man. That's another metric that they use. So when you got it to where food prices are all over the place, well, guess what you think is going to happen, man? They're going to raise up these interest rates. It's going to be impossible for you to get a bank loan. Business is going to be going for foreclosure. People are going to be jobless. And just somehow, 2030 is coming around, and all of these agendas that they said, oh, there's no agenda 30. There's no agenda 30. It's all coming to pass. How? How, Sway? How? Here they said, oh, no, there's no agenda 30. There's no agenda. There's none of this happening. But we're getting closer and closer to 2030. And everything that they said they wanted to achieve by then, they're achieving it by all of these crises, by means of all of these crises. So it's just interesting. But see, if you got the eye salve, if you got the mindness to see these things for what they are, you really be coming into a situation where you're like, you know what? Okay, Esau is performing his enterprise. Now we're going to see a situation where Yahweh Shai is going to perform the real enterprise. See, it's all good and well when you think Esau is the one that's in control of all these things. Esau ain't the one that's in control, man. The Most High is the one that's in control. The Most High is the one that's got Esau thinking that he can manipulate the markets, manipulate the earth, and control everything. No, the Most High is the one that's in control. And you're going to find out that the Most High is the one that's in control, right? Very soon. You're going to find that out, because here it is, they're trying to manipulate all of these things across the earth, and then lo and behold, boom. You're going to find out it was the Yahweh Shai that orchestrated the famine. Yahweh Shai is the one that's going to deliver the men of the Lord out of the famine. That's what you're going to find out, man. Okay? So yeah, man. Keep an eye on these stories. Keep an eye on these things. And life's going to move fast pretty soon, man. Things are going to move fast pretty soon. We're going to witness the end of this thing. With that, I'm going to say, oh, praise and thank about you, man. Say about you, the great millstone, and the honest brothers that be pushing these truths in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.